All right. Hopefully, I'm alive. Somebody give me a sound check, please. Probably going to be a huge delay. Okay, John says I'm there, but can everybody hear me? All right, I got sound too. All right. My apologies, guys. At 11 o'clock, I came on, getting ready, do all the testing stuff, and nothing worked. We had a bad storm here last night. The funny thing is, everything worked this morning. You know, I got the stream set up and scheduled and everything, and when I finally hopped on, and it wouldn't recognize my speakers or headphone or cameras. So cool beans. Cool beans. So let's go through who else here. Of course, John and Jason I've been messaging with through my technical difficulties. Hello, Edward. Hello, Stephen. Is that it? Oh, JD's here. And Anthony's here. I think that's it. Maybe? Yep, that's it. Okay. At least of people that have said something. So, anyway, exciting morning. Exciting morning. I haven't done any videos simply because I've been so busy with HOA stuff. I have been piddling some. I'll show you what I'm talking about in that regard. I've done a little work on Chicago Union Station area. If you look at that there, you can see here I've added an extension over to widen the street. And if you notice, right here is a trolley. Ding, 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 went the trolley. And so I'm testing out the radius curves because it's real tight. I mean, it's like a 8-9 inch radius. But it's a 4-wheel trolley. And actually, it goes around that corner fine, as anticipated. So the next step is to lay out Union Station. I've got to do you see how this is cut away for the platforms? I've got to cut away here for Union Station, so it'll be raised up on steps going up to the station, and then inside you'll have steps going down for the illusion of at trackside or track level. And if anybody's seen the movie, and I'm sure most of you had, The Untouchables with Kevin Costner and Sean Connery, when they do the railroad scene, train station scene, that's at Union Station in Chicago. And it's funny because you can go to that station, you can actually see where the marble steps have worn down over the years. So, hey, Heath. You're going to play with your glue sticks, huh? I'll give you a warning with glue sticks. They don't stick very well. And if you're putting up paper backdrops, good luck with that. I used glue sticks on my lumberyard, and they're okay. But if something ever happens in the lumberyard, you know, you got vibrations and knock stuff, all of a sudden the stacks of plywood start to come apart. So, but that's here nor there. It's fine most of the time. And, you know, I've got wrinkling on my paper backdrops. Someday I'm going to take them off and just go to the blue with some painted clouds in. But that's here nor there. So I was texting, or thought I was texting with messaging with Jason, and I sent it all to my neighbor instead. Oops! So I had to apologize to her. Yeah, I don't know what the answer is for you, Heath. You can try the glue sticks. Double-sided tape maybe would be another option. if you had something to tape to, or just double-sided tape down those columns and then stretch across, perhaps. And John Linton's still painting people. Just don't cut the feet off, John, or Anthony will get you. He heads up the abuse to model railroad passenger amputations. He doesn't want to look inside my passenger cars. I think his favorite train of mine is the bi-level commuter cars. It's filled with amputated passengers. One thing I didn't do when I fired back up, I wanted to make sure I could get in the stream fast enough, is I did not fire up JMRI. That's why there's no trains going, so I'm doing that as we speak as well. Now in that picture you see where the passenger cars are down below and the ramps. Those will be lit up. Those ramps will be lit up, and with like old-time street lights. And then I have the kits for the shed with the clear glass, so you can look down inside of them. So it should be pretty cool when it's done. Just takes time and money. And since I'm about 200% over my budget so far. All right, Jason, we'll see you when you get to the tracks. Alrighty, where's my JMRI? Keep coming. Oh, here it comes. But Anthony, I thought you headed up the coalition to prevent amputated passengers, or whatever it was you called it. That's Heath. That's what I was just telling you. All right, it's okay. Union Station goes where all the model parts there in the middle, and then there's holes on both sides. That will have clear. Well, here it's easier to show you. Yeah, that will have these clear sheds over each side once my cameras change. Boy, this is slow. I think it's showing on Stream. I think I'm showing on StreamYard, but it's not showing on that I've switched on Manicam. Yeah. See, this clear shed will be in that hole, you know, with the crest coming up above street level. Okay. With this edge down below street level, that up above street level, it's clear, so you can look down into the station and the lighting effects. And there's this on both sides. You got two portions here. One portion goes on one side of Union Station, one portion goes on the other side of Union Station, and away we go. So I've got all these kits I got to build, but I have all the infrastructure I got to do first. And of course, those sheds will come off, and that whole lid to Union Station. Hang on, I'll switch back. Okay, as you see there, that whole lid, you take the divider off and the bridges off, and then the front half is hinged, and you can hinge it up to get down in there to clean track, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Hopefully that makes sense for everybody. Nope. You know, we expect them from you, Heath. That's okay. By the way, in case everybody was wondering about my technical difficulties earlier, it was all Heath's fault. All right. After all, I am wearing the uniform of the day. All right. Society Against Passenger. I forgot what the SAPS goes to. Hey, Jasco. I think I missed you there. So anyway, I did get my my JMRI Panel Pro up and running. It's just a matter of getting all the screens I want ready. Now, oops, wrong one. All right, now I got a train running. Hey, MD. Welcome. Scale Figure Amputation Prevention Society. I knew it had something to do with that. Thank you, Edward. All right. He's got glue sticks. Watch out. Oh, I don't know if anybody realized or not. You know, for months I've been talking about having to rewire a portion of the retirement railroad. Let me add a camera view here. As I'm signing in to my security cameras. And okay, so I go to that view. As John Linton can attest, I always had issues here and here, and the corresponding tracks on the other end of phase 2, where the train would pause as it went over that because it was a separate power district, separate booster. Okay, and the boosters, I had a real hard time getting the voltage perfect enough where it didn't do that, because in the only place where there's a reversing line is the center track, but it was the two outer tracks that I was having the delays on. So what I did was I took these two tracks off of the booster and put them on the main power cab, and now the train runs flawlessly across that joint and the corresponding other joint. Okay. In the same line, then, what I did was I took all of the switch motors, all of the Smales, which are tortoises with decoders in them, which were pulling about 1.3 amps total. I took all of them off of the main power bus and put it onto the booster. Okay, so that now this the main power is does nothing but locomotives. Okay, while the booster does the center track, reversing loop, all of the switch motors, and then this freight yard. All right, the Aurora Eola freight yard, and that balances the power out while allowing that train not to come to an abrupt stop and then restart again. So finally got that done. I've been talking about it for months. So hello, Mr. Raider. The other thing about widening this area back here was it makes this track here appear more subterranean, down underground, which it is in real life on the prototype. So it's pretty cool. Now, I don't have the harbor scene or the backdrop for the harbor scene in place today. I typically only do that if I'm going to be doing some videos and so forth. And with the way my morning went, that wasn't happening. I did get one package and one package only this week. And I know there were a couple other people that got the same package. All right. So let's go ahead and address that. All right, I'm going to switch cameras for a second. And I got my box. So all right, let's dig into the box. Rick did a late night live stream last week. I think it was last week, and did kind of a contest or whatever it was. I don't know what exactly it was. And as everybody knows, I go to bed early. But anyway, here's my Foltz Bailey coffee mug. Pretty cool, from Mr. Woody. All right, or AKA the tree. Anyway, he had the late night thing, and as everybody knows, I go to bed early because I wake up at 0:30, and so I woke up and I was watching this thing, and I didn't listen to it all. I immediately sent an email message saying, "Count me in." All right, for the contest. Well, the contest was only for the participants live. All right, so I did not qualify, and that was fine. I figured that out when I watched the rest of the stream. But heck, the email was already on the way, and oh well, I didn't think much about it. Well, I got an email from Rick saying, I want you to have one of these mugs. So he went ahead and sent it to me. So I feel very privileged that I have a Foltz Bailey coffee mug. That was my one and only mail call this week. I don't have enough to ship from Caboose Hobbies, unlike Joe Rader, who's buying the place out. Right, Joe? I was really itching to buy something on Wednesday, but they didn't have any vehicles, and that's what I'm in the market for right now is vehicles. That, and I'm waiting for Iron Planet Hobbies to get some decoders that I need in. So I still have this CB&Q Jeep 35 sitting on my desk, half wired, waiting for a decoder. No, Joe. There's a bunch of people buying from Carol. I think Bernard bought a bunch this last Wednesday too. Speaking of Bernard, where's he at today? Next time around, I'll send that commuter train down to Union Station. Oh, I got to make John Linton happy. I forgot to do something. All right, just for you, Mr. Linton. I'll change the camera so you can see. Thanks, JD. Yeah, I think it is. I kind of collect coffee mugs anyway. Yeah, Joe. We'll have to see who's got faster fingers. Although I'm only looking for stuff from mid-60s and older. You can have anything modern. Oh, hell, I didn't set the switches right. Okay, now it'll go down to Union Station. You see it, John? John always likes to watch the little switcher and cement car go back and forth in Aurora. And I always keep forgetting to turn it on. Hey, John, Mr. Mystic. The kid? All right. My wife says I act like one, so. I know a lot of people like this view. Problem to me is you can't see anything. Or maybe it's just my old weary eyes. There she goes, going down to Union Station. I'm just going to stick to one train at a time today. I get more than that and I get too confused. As John knows, I get confused with just one train. You need a PhD to figure out my track plan and switches. John, we are running the Burlington bi-level commuter train today. It's probably my favorite, and I think it's Anthony Dodge's favorite. The reason it's my favorite is my dad used to ride them every morning and every evening to downtown Chicago and back. It's what I grew up watching, rail fanning, because you had one of those, every half hour at least, right? Let alone the Zephyrs and the Empire Builder would come through town, the North Coast Limited would come through town, of course, the Manifest Freights, everything from Denver and Minneapolis, and all points in between. So, I mean, the 3-track main line through my hometown, there was always train traffic on it. So, yeah, no kidding, Edward. Having one train being on the stream and so forth. Because I always get on. I get on in the morning. I set up the stream, and then I always come back on at 11 to make sure everything's working right. Okay, I go in the studio, make sure my cameras are on and sound checks and all that kind of stuff. Well, I came on at 11, and I couldn't get anything to work. I couldn't get in the studio. Well, I got into the studio, but I could not get my cameras nor my microphone and speakers, headphones recognized. All right, so I tried rebooting StreamYard to no avail. I tried redoing my Manicam, which handles my the interface on my cameras and microphone. That didn't work. So anyway, I had to end up rebooting the computer, and it took literally a half an hour to reboot. Okay, to restart is what I did. I didn't shut down and then start it up again. I just did the restart process, and it took forever. Hey, Scott, welcome. Should I be bold and try to run a second train? Sure as hell I'll screw it up if I do. Anybody got any big plans for the weekend? Yeah, yard work's always a big deal. But, Anthony, you're retired. You don't have to do it on the weekends. Well, John, you need, Mr. Linton, you need to get a loop or something running. Well, Stephen, the part about adult beverages is what caught my attention. All right, Mystic. Bench work. Gotta love it. Uh-oh, I'm really coy about what, Edward? What did he say now that I missed? Yes, you do see a koi pond in the top right. I got a friend, with my backyard and with the koi pond and screen enclosure, there's really only about a 8 foot by 20 foot area of grass out there in the backyard, and then the front, literally a third of it's planter bed, and the rest is grass. So it takes me all of 15 minutes to mow my yard. So every time my friend is complaining about mowing his yard, I say, "Oh, I had to do yard work today too. I mowed. It took me 15 minutes." Oh, that sets them off. It's high tide. Yeah, no, it's Lake Michigan. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. It's Lake Michigan. All right, let's send her around the other way. Oh, that's been Steve. That's been my philosophy for years. Okay, um, planter beds are fairly easy to maintain if you maintain them regularly. Okay, um, walkways, koi pond, pool, whatever. Um, Eats up a bunch of the yard. It's still livable space, uh, but makes maintenance a whole lot easier. So, and we had a 3,300 square foot home, and when we retired, kids are gone and everything. When we retired, we didn't need that, so we found this little cracker box at roughly 1,500 square feet. Less than half the size of the old house, and um, enjoying the heck out of it. Yeah, we had to get rid of a bunch of junk. We gave it all to the kids. Although I do miss having a basement. Growing up in the Midwest, we had basements, and that's where we, as a kid, we had our layout, our train set. Um, but that one wasn't much more than 4x8 plywood. But I can guarantee you, I would have at this day and age, if I had a basement, I'd have the whole perimeter of the basement, and with some peninsulas and every multi-level. I would have had a field day. But the retirement railroad's just fine for me. Yes, it's congested. No, it's not prototypical. I don't care. I can run operations. I can rail fan and watch trains go around, and I can tinker with things here and there and have a good time. Yeah. Then you got to pick up the sheep poop. Yeah, and I don't have to worry about shoveling snow either, or snow blowing snow. I remember in 1968, hottest day of the year, my dad came home with a Toro snowblower. Everybody, all the neighbors laughed at him. My brother and I and my mom, we're all going, what the hell? Nobody laughed came January, and he had that thing going. Yeah, I mean, it was fantastic. And that was, you think back, late 60s, heck, most of the people here probably weren't even alive then. Not too many people had snowblowers. What are you reporting me the NMRA for? Poo is poo. Newsflash. All right. Poo can be made into fertilizer, but poo as fertilizer, as it stands, as it sits on the ground, is not good. No, no, no. Let's put it this way: if it has high enough ammonia and or nitrogen in it, it's going to burn your yard. All right, as a pile there. And if it doesn't do that, it doesn't have enough nitrogen. you need to spread it. One of the most disgusting things I've ever seen was when I was in school out in Iowa, in college, and we took a ride out to one of the state parks, and we're back roads, rural, and here is a tractor pulling a pressurized manure spreader. Okay, now in the old days, you had a wagon, and it would have with a mechanism on the back that it would feed the feces through this thing and spread it out as it drove through the field. Well, this thing had the manure liquefied and was shooting it out liquefied 30 feet in the air, spreading it, and the stench was horrendous. Never dreamed of such a thing like that. Go right ahead and poop in the park, Keith. I'm glad I'm not by Heath's Park. I gotta do some more videos on operations. Yeah, manure spreaders are common. I just never seen that liquefied one. I mean, it was disgusting. I mean, I wasn't, a city boy growing up in suburban Chicago, but I mean, I was not a naive city boy. We had a family farm that we used to spend a lot of time at. So it's not like I was not used to farm animals and driving tractors and, cultivating fields and all that. I just never dreamed of a liquefied manure spreader. How do I clean what thing? Clear the track before the op session. Okay, I'm missing something somewhere. Oh, how do you clean the poop spreader? Well, in the old days, the old mechanical ones, you just take a hose to them and clean them out. I have no idea. how you do the pressurized one. You know, keep pumping water through the thing. I don't know. I'm not sure in today's day and age one of those would be legal with food safety issues the way they are. I kind of doubt it. I mean, you could spread it on a. I guess you could spread it on a field prior to germination. Maybe I don't know. Nah, there's just too many food safety issues nowadays. I would think E. coli and all that kind of stuff. Clean what track first, John? Feed me a bone here. Well, Scott, I got news for you. The one I got a whiff of smelled terrible. It ranked right up there with a corn processing plant or confined feedlot. I mean, ooh. Chicken farms aren't any better. High ammonia content like that in a confined area? Holy crap. The wind just right? Ew. Oh, okay. Now that makes sense, John. Thank you for feeding me all of the information and putting it into context. Yeah, I think some of the worst smells that I've ever encountered are agricultural related. Um, although paper mills can be bad too. Um, refineries, burning off the excess gases. But those aren't. I mean, those just they don't smell great, but they aren't terrible like some of the others. It's taken me a long time of fine tuning my terrible track work to get it where uh, there's relatively very few issues. And issues I typically have are operator error, as Mr. Linton can attest to. SHTF scenario. Hey, JT. Yeah, I agree, Mystic. Paper mills are pungent as well. I think the all-time worst has still got to be either a confined feedlot or corn processing plant. Okay, corn processing plants are terrible, and I mean it can be a sweetener plant, it can be a distillery. All right, that when they're creating that mash and stuff, I, I think of the corn processing plant for Seagram's in Clinton, Iowa, and you come across the river from Illinois into downtown Clinton, and I mean it's the processing plant's right there, and it is terrible, 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 terrible. Yeah, holy chicken crap, Batman. Joe's not been in the rooms because he's been on Caboose Top Hobbies buying everything. He's going to say, no, 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 no. All right, time to send the train back to Union Station. I'll tell you what, we're going to fire up a second train against my better judgment. Place your bets. How long will it be before I screw it up? All right, we got the city of Los Angeles running. Hopefully all the switches are set right. You know, there's all different methods you can go with switch machines, John. I went with Smales, okay, which have decoders built into them. They're a tortoise with a decoder. Okay. Just simply because I didn't want all the extra wiring for all the other varieties. And they have both the tortoise and the Smales have two double pole, double throw switches built into them for using as a frog juicer or for signal lighting, as an example. I've only used the one of them for my electro frogs, and they work great. Okay. And like I said, it minimizes, any other DCC controlled switch. You're going to have to run wiring from the switch to the control unit. Okay. And the cost, you can do what your option is, probably cheaper than the Smale. Okay. Because the Digitrax controller or other controllers will do 4 or 8 or however many switches. Okay, it'll one decoder will do multiples, so that helps cut down on cost. But again, you got additional wiring and stuff. Whereas the Smales, you just hook all the wiring up right there to the bus line, and you're good to go. So, and I did a count on it. It's over, I think it's 70 different switches. So, but that's just me. I'm not saying it's the best way or the only way or anything like that. It's just the way I chose to do it. And they're more expensive, no doubt about it. But if you buy them in 12 packs, I got multiple 12 packs for like $300 for 12 of them. And that really cut the expense down because they're like $35 plus and plus shipping and tax and all that a piece when you buy them singularly. All right. But I bought all mine through, I believe, Trains with a Z out of Buford, Georgia, online. And you gotta nitpick them. You know, they don't have them always available at that price, but every now and then they'll become available, and I snatched them up. So, bye, Scott. Yes, it's the same housing, John, as the tortoise. They're just different color plastic. I'll show you. A tortoise is green, all right, and a smale is brown. So, and you can buy them with lug connectors, okay, or solder connectors. And I have both. And ultimately, if I had it to do all over again, I'd buy all the soldered connectors, okay, instead of the lug ones. Because the only problems I've had have been with the lug connectors and the lugs loosening over time, and a wire coming undone or not making good enough contact. And that doesn't happen on the soldered ones. Another thing I would do somewhat differently, when I started on the retirement railroad, I was watching YouTube videos and everything, and foam was the big thing. And I'd never used foam on a layout before. It's always been plywood. So I said, I like this idea of foam. So that's what I did. Well, if I had to do it all over again, I probably wouldn't use foam the way I used foam. Okay, simply because it's problematic in mounting switch machines. Okay, if you're going to use foam, I would suggest coming back anywhere you got switches to hollow out some of the foam area and put a plywood base for the switches, so that the switch motors have something to mount to, and so that the switches are not twisted and they're level, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I don't disagree with you, Heath. But then again, I'm not Heath. I don't blow up decoders. Sorry, buddy. Couldn't resist. I haven't blown up any decoders in a Smale. So now you're the guy that does wiring and electronic wiring for signs and all this stuff, Heath. You're the guy that should not be blowing up decoders. All right, Joe. Take care. Thanks for stopping by. No problem, John. Anytime. And like I said, I'm not, Smales work for me. Okay. A lot of people use the tortoises and use the multiple controllers, as he's suggesting. It works too. Okay. Other people use different types of switch machines. Some of them use the solenoid versions that run off of 16-volt AC, not DC. So then you have to have an AC bus line to connect them to. There's just all kinds of variations. Heck, there's a lot of people that don't even have switch machines. They'll use the hand throws or the little manual knobby throw things. Yeah, that would do it. Short right across the tracks, I would imagine, Heath. Now, along those same lines, I wear this Fitbit, okay, which has a metal, like a chainmail, metal wristband, right? And there's been more than one occasion where I pulled a Heath, all right, and not watch what I was doing. I lean across the layout somewhere, and the band will short off against uh, across the tracks, and I tell you what, it burns the hell out of my wrist. So it's happened at least twice, maybe three times over the last 2 years. But then again, I have on all my bus lines, I have circuit breakers, PM42s. All right, I got two PM42s and 8 different power districts, 4 on each of those. So typically it throws those. Do ground throws wear out? I have no idea. I know switches can. All right, the frogs on them can wear out over time, wear down. I've seen different people fix different ways of fixing them where they haven't had to replace them, but in the grand scope of things, most of the time it's just better to replace them. But as far as like the Caboose Industries, not Caboose Stop, Caboose Industries ground throws, I don't know. I've never used those. So I would say it would be very hard to wear one out. It's just a little worm gear in there pulling something back and forth, I think. Yeah, let's work, Edward. I mean, there's all kinds of solutions, okay, for different things. The real question is, if you got a switch like right here and here, do I really need a switch machine? Why not a ground throw? There's nothing in the way. Now something in the back side of the layout, yeah, I can see having a switch machine or a pull knob, something like that, just so I'm not leaning across and breaking something. I just standardized mine and put all Smales in. And for these ones that are up close, like I just here at Union Station, they're double switched in that I throw this switch here, the corresponding switch on the other end of Union Station throws too. Yeah, no, yeah, it would not have a fuse breaker, would it? And a 9-volt battery is not going to hurt you, but it will hurt other electronic components, that's for sure. Or can, I won't say will, but can. Now, one thing I have to watch out for running these two trains at the same time, there is one place where the tracks are probably a tad too close to have that the bi-level commuter car pass another long coached train, all right, or any passenger train. So I have to watch to make sure they don't go head to head at that one curve, which is back here between Cicero and Fairview. Yeah, I would tend to agree with you, Edward. There's in a situation like that, you don't need it. I mean, most switching layouts, you would need it. The only again, if you had some buildings or landscaping, whatever scenery that could get broken, reaching even 18 inches, then yeah, you might want to consider something. But for the most part, an 18-inch wide, there's no need. Ground throws or pull knobs are fine. All right, JT, take care. All right, I'm gonna put the commuter train to bed. So I ran that thing for an hour without any incidents. I'm impressed. Okay. All right. What do we want? Do we want the Zephyr or the Black Hawk? Audience participation time. Whoever posts first. Oh, lucky you, John. Hey, you want me to send you my 2 bags of 100 each for you to paint? Be happy to send them up there to you. Empire Builder? Well, that's part of the Zephyr. Well, no. That's part of the North Coast Limited. All right. It's on the other track. With same. I could. But sure as hell, if I do this, Heath, I'm gonna derail something. I have my North Coast Limited and Empire Builder combined, which is the way it came into Chicago most of the time anyway. I don't have a Southern Crescent Mystic. The Southern Crescent did not run to Chicago. I think that was from Virginia. I mean, from New Orleans to Virginia. I think. Now, at some point in time, I'd like to put together a city of New Orleans, which was Illinois Central. It ran between Chicago and New Orleans. It did in your mind? Yeah, we all know how your mind is there, John. Well, let's get the Zephyr out. Huh. Okay. I must have something off the track. Whoop, 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 whoop. That's the only problem with Union Station as it exists right now is I do so much work, use it kind of as a workbench, and inevitably I'll knock one of the cars off the track. All right, try this again. Okay. And if I ever get it out of the station, we'll be good to go. All right. Yeah, that'd be fine, John. Servos and ground throws. Use the servos on the stuff you would normally have to reach through, and use the ground throws up front. The only or use servos for the main line and use ground throws in the yard. Okay, because if you want any kind of JMRI type control, where what did I do? Something's not right somewhere. Pop the breaker. There it is, right there. Ah! Thought I had that problem fixed. Okay, as I was stating, John, if you want any kind of JMRI control like Panel Pro, where you can go up to the panel and throw switches and stuff, you're going to want to probably do that for the main line. All right, I'm going to turn this baby around. Maybe. All right, let's see if it works. See, there's that pause, but that's because it's going on to the reversing loop. Here's where it comes off of the reversing loop. And it went through that just fine. Okay. All right, so now I've reversed the direction of the Zephyr. All right, Steve, we'll see you later. What, John Linton left? All right. Bring the city of Los Angeles into the Van Buren Street station. All right. It stopped because I neglected it. Okay. All righty. I told myself when I was a kid, if I ever had a big layout, and by my childhood standards, this would be a big layout. Not by my adult standards, but there's one thing I wanted in the layout, and that was the ability to reverse total trains. Okay. Yes, the roundhouse can reverse engines and so forth, but I wanted to be able to run a train and send it around in such a manner that it would go both ways down the same track at one point or another. So that was one of the integral parts of my design. And as you look at it, I remember when John Linton first was here, and the first time I reversed a train on him, he kind of stood there dumbfounded, wondering how I did that, because it's not readily apparent. I mean, you can trace it pretty easy, but as you look at the layout, it's not like it goes to a loop and comes back. Okay. I think when Iron Planet Hey, Gus, glad you could make it. Oh, is you talking about that brass one that uh, Jimmy at JWII or whatever 2000? I saw that. First of all, there's no way in hell I'd pay $6,200 for any engine. I don't care how finely detailed it is, because I'm one that would break all the detail anyway. I mean, I like detailed engines. Don't get me wrong, but I'd rather have ones that I can not be fearful of having to pick up. I mean, when I got my 280 consolidated, my BLI, and I think list price on that was like 450, and I got it for like 380 or something like that. I was half nuts. Okay, most I've ever spent. Hell, that's twice as much as I've ever spent on any other locomotive. And then it was a piece of crap out of the box. Burned up two decoders, and they had to replace the warranty. Finally, the third decoder that went into it, they upgraded it to the H series board, which is what the Paragon 4 is, and I put a power pack in it, keep alive, and it runs like a champ now. So. Now I do have a Rapido E8 on pre-order. It's supposed, it's been on pre-order for what, 2 years, and it's supposed to be in fourth quarter this year. So that fourth quarter starts next month. So we shall see. And that's like a $400 one. It's like I don't have enough E units as it is. I got those two, that one. I have 4 Burlington E units. I have a Penske E unit there, and I've got a B&O E unit there, and I got 2 more Burlington E units in a cabinet down there that I still haven't put decoders in, because I've got enough to run right now. Don't have enough room for them all. All right, Anthony, we'll see you later. Don't forget, everybody, Anthony's, I think Edward's on at 2:30 Eastern. And Happy Valley Hobbies. And, of course, Anthony's on at 3:30 Eastern. My problem is I've got commitments at those times. Every now and then I catch a little bit of Edwards and a little bit of Anthony's. All right, what time we got? Where are we at here, folks? I'm not careful. I'm going to blow right through my time frame. All right, we still got time. Trains run great as long as I pay attention to them. My pleasure, Edward. Yeah, I'm busier now, John, than I ever was working. The being elected as president of the HOA, um, that takes a huge amount of my time. The management company sent my neighbor across the street multiple uh, violation notices. So she wrote back to him, stating all this stuff, and of course he sends all those back to me to reply. So I wrote her back and I said, here's what the rules are, okay, and just so you know who you're talking with, let her know it's me. And I said, I politely told you for the last 6 months, what these items are violations. And for the last 6 months, you said it's okay. Well, I'm here to tell you, it's not okay. So I'd like to see her face when she figures out that I'm the HOA president. So I tried to be nice. No good deed goes unpunished. Yeah, I'm committed. I'm gonna be sent to Gus's lunatic asylum. Well, now that John Linton's left, I guess I can turn off the motorman. Which reminds me, I got to order another motorman. Why, you ask? For this trolley right here. All right, let's send let's. All right, it's time to park the Zephyr. If I don't derail it on the way to the shed. I did! I didn't throw the switch at the right time. Or I forgot to throw. Oh, there it is. See? I forgot to throw the switch. Go figure. Go figure. All right, we'll see you later, John. I am my own worst enemy. I'm surprised the engines didn't derail. It's one thing about these E-units. You could have one axle go off, and the thing will keep on running. All right, until it comes to another switch. back in the shed too. Well, we'll wind this puppy up. All right. So, hey, I want to thank everybody joining me here at the Retirement Railroad, Matinee Modeling. Not Matinee Modeling. Well, it is Matinee Modeling, just not the tip of the day. So, anyway, wrap it up. We're an hour and a half into it, and we got started late. So, we'll wrap this up so everybody has a chance for an ergo break before heading over to Happy Valley Hobbies live stream. All right. So again, and let me change cameras here. Yeah, I gotta find my other. Where the hell did it go? Where did my Manicam go? There it is. All right. Okay. Now you got me. All right, MD. Thanks for stopping by. All right. And y'all have a great day. Bye now.